What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This video is quite overdue. I ordered these parts when I was restoring the underneath and the rear section of the Mk2, but now that's all done, I can finally get on and fit these. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I bought some front coilovers for the Mk2 and I am so happy with them. There's a bloke called Shane Baker who I bought these coilovers off. He's quite well known in the Mk1 and Mk2 Fiesta scene, and basically he makes these himself. There's a couple of options you could go down. You could try and modify Corsa C coilovers, and I'm pretty sure some companies do actually make these for the Fiestas. However, I decided to purchase some of Shane because I've seen them advertised on a Facebook forum so many times. They look really neat, and yeah, I thought I'd treat myself. At first, I didn't actually know what Shane done to these coilovers to make them fit, but after speaking to him for a little while, I realised that he actually swaps out the brackets from the original struts and welds them onto these coilovers. Here are the coilovers. I'm not going to lie, I've never bought anything like this, but I'm so happy with these. Thanks for the blue springs, Shane, because I didn't expect that, but they go really nicely with the car. Here's what I was talking about with these mounting brackets. So obviously these are off original struts that people would probably throw in the bin or whatever, but he uses these, slots them on here and welds them on. It's also got the brake pipe bracket on the back, so yeah, they're perfect. So I'm not going to waffle on and make a really long intro out of this. All I'm going to do is swap out my struts and show you the little bit of modification that needs to be done in order to fit these. For some people, in parts of this video, it might sort of seem like I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but I'm going to do this as a how-to so that a novice could change these if they really wanted to. So what I've got to do next is undo these two bolts that hold the strut onto the knuckle or the hub, whatever you want to call it. For anyone wanting to know, these two bolts are just 17s. Hold them with a spanner and they come off. Now that them two bolts are removed, take off this cap from the top of the strut. And this one is a 19 as well, so you want to undo this. But make sure, while you undo it, that you hold the strut, because that is now going to fall out. Alright, mine stayed in, but nonetheless, give it a little wobble. Ah, one thing I forgot. Brake pipe. Make sure you take that out. Right, and that is how simple it is to remove the front strut. As you would have just seen, I've removed both the front struts, and also off camera I removed the springs, which means compressing them and then releasing the top cups. I've laid the strut and the new coilover side by side, so it's much easier to identify what parts I need from the original strut. This is what you already get. So there's already one cup with the coilover, there's already a bearing and also a nut. The only two parts from the original strut we're going to be taking are these two cups. One goes on the inside of the arch and the other one goes on the top. This is the order, and these are the parts that you won't need anymore. This is a section of the video where the modify bit sort of comes into hand, because these two holes, I believe, are 12mm, and the thread thickness on this is bigger. So I've got to drill both of these two cups out to 14mm. Just before I start putting the coilovers on, I've just received this package from Outlaw Motorsport, and these are the final pieces of the puzzle. Some people might have guessed already what's in these, but I've got some new Polybush top mounts. These are also allow an extra 15mm drop, but I don't think I'll need that with the coilovers, as I won't be running it flat on the ground. I've also got two bolt kits. One's for the front suspension arms and tyre bar, and the second one is brand new bolts for the struts. I thought I'd show the comparison between the Outlaw Motorsport Polybushes and the normal top mounts. As you can see, that one's a lot lower, so that gives you the 15mm extra drop. But as I said, I'm not really going to need that because I'm not going to have these slammed right to the floor. I've now finished preparing the cups and spraying them, and now I've got everything lined up, ready to go on. So I'm just starting to build up the coilovers. First things first is this metal cup that comes with the coilover, then the brand new bearing that also comes with the coilover, and then the first cup that I saved off the original strut. Once they're all on, got this 21mm, actually no, I think it's a 22, and spin that on and tighten that up. So now I've nipped up this Allen key and the 22mm nut. It's all good to fit to the vehicle. Now them two strut bolts are tightened up, I just need to fit the Outlaw Motorsport Polybush along with the last cup and the nylon nut. It's a fun bit where I need to get this Polybush lip over onto this strut mount. So when it comes to these coilovers and how low they're going to sit, I don't have a clue. So I'm just going to wind these up a bit on both sides, make sure they're equal, put the wheels on and then see how it sits. And then I can adjust them up lower or higher if I want. That's as far as I'm going to wind this coilover up at the moment. I don't know if this seems like a lot or too little, but I'll soon find out. The way I've made sure this distance or thread is exactly the same on both sides is I've went down the threads and counted, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be a bit anal, might be an easier way to do it, could just measure this distance, but yeah, I just done that to make sure they were both the same. With the coilovers all fitted to the car now, it just leads me on to what wheels I've chosen for the Mk2. And for the moment, these are just a temporary basis. I've got some XR2 wheels that I sprayed up earlier in this year, and I've wrapped them in some Yokohamas, highly recommended from a lot of people, so that's what I've gone for. I'm really liking the way this is sitting now. I'm just going to get it out of the garage so we can have a proper look. Right, that pretty much brings us to the end of this video. You're going to have to bear with the way I look. I am sweating out here, but I'm really happy with the car and the way it's sitting now. I've still got to let the suspension settle a little bit before I adjust some coilovers a bit more, but I'm really happy with the way it's sitting at the moment. I'm just going to mention a couple of things I feel like I might have missed out in the video. The first one being the coilover tool. I didn't actually show this. It's really easy to use, so literally just wind them up or wind them down. It's pretty self-explanatory. The second thing is the price of these coilovers. So Shane knocks these out at £245 posted anywhere in the UK. I think that's a really good deal, and as I said before, I will leave all of his contact details down below. One other thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that I haven't lubricated the threads on my coilovers. So normally if these were in constant use, sort of on like a daily vehicle, then they should be copper greased up or a bit of oil, anything to keep them threads lubed up, so when you come to adjust them they're nice and free. But because my car is pretty much a show car now, I'm not going to be lubing them up. A slight bit of WD-40 to let that settle on there, but that's as far as I'll be going. Going away from the coilovers now, and on a bit more of a personal note for the channel, these XR2 wheels aren't going to stay on the Fiesta. So I've never mentioned about what wheels I'm putting on it before, but these are simply just to align the coilovers up and see how much width I've got to play with the wheels. I already know what wheels I'm getting, so you'll have to stay tuned and find out what wheels I'm putting on it. I want to thank everyone once again who subscribed to the channel. The support is really growing, and we just hit 600 subscribers, which to a small channel like mine is a big booster. But yeah, if you do enjoy it, subscribe to the channel and give this video a like as well if it was helpful. But until the next one, I'll see you guys later.